Hey you guys, okay, so now it's finally the time I'm going to repot this bonsai. My first kind of, my first repotting. Um, as you see, like, again, it's so hard to get water in that the leaves are looking so drab. I mean, kind of hanging down, no life. So I'm going to repot it and then do some pruning afterwards. It's way too thick to white, it will just snap straight away. I've just got a few bits with me, just a bowl to mix it in. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done it in something like this, but I actually haven't got anything else to mix it in. So perlite, so this is just going to give some breathing space in the soil so that the water drain properly. Yeah, hold on to enough water, but not too much, don't want the roots rotting. And I bought this Bonsai Focus Repotting Mix. Free draining compost for healthy bonsai plants. And this will be just kind of composted stuff with, I guess it's got some organics in it, but from what I've read and everything, you can just use normal kind of soil, mix in some sand and some clay, stuff like perlite, or even some cat litter. Apparently even the scented stuff doesn't matter because the chemicals on that wash out soon enough. But bought this anyway, wasn't too expensive, and I'll mix it together. We'll get this out. I guess maybe trim the roots a little bit if needed, and get it back in place. And this I bought, which is just some feed, some slow release feed, if it focuses there, and uses light top dressing water after application. So I'll just sprinkle some of those on top, and then give it a good watering after. Yeah, maybe try and get some extra growth out of it. So bear with me 1 second whilst I see if I can get this phone put down anywhere. Brought some tissue with me just in case, and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm just going to use this to go around the outside. In fact, you know what? You might just pull. It's very. Okay, nah. Okay, so I'm trying to see if I can see any wires holding it in place anywhere, which I can't, and it is coming. But I don't want to tear any roots too majorly, so I'll go around the outside with this knife. See if we can loosen this up a second. Okay. So this is like just a shop ball bonsai. So I know that they sell them in old, not proper soil, clay, or if they ship them over, they just dig up a load of clay, put it with it. I mean, it's not going to get water whilst it's shipped, so they want something that's going to hold on to a load of water. And that's good for the journey, but it's not good in general because the roots will rot. So you want to get it out as quick as possible, which I haven't done, to be fair. Been a bit slack. Okay, so let's see what we've got on the underneath, on the side here. So we can see some roots kind of coming out there. But I can't see any wires holding it in, so it looks like it's just kind of knotted in place. And it is coming, it's coming slowly. So, let's take it off of this sec before we break this. Okay, I'm just going to put some tissue out a second. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so it's just wedged in place, and God, it's quite thick with roots. But this stuff is like, it's like soggy cardboard. It's actually kind of the texture is soggy cardboard. There's a bit of wire, a bit of old wire there as well. So you can quickly get that off. I can see some imprints where what is grown through the wire as well. But this wire is so thin, so you can show it must have been put on literally when it's just a shoot. So it's been there for a while. Okay, now as far as I'm aware, I just need to kind of break some of this up. And you can see these roots that have grown around the outside. So it looks like it's been in there for a while. And these big ones like this around the outside, I'm pretty sure we can trim. So I'm just going to try and loosen some of this up here. Just try and loosen all this here. See what we can do. Wow, this is knotted. It's crazy. And a lot of this stuff here isn't even roots. It's just the kind of stuff it was in. You can see here, it's almost like a solid mass of roots here. And you see a big solid mass root there, big thick bit. So I'm just going to try and break up some of this and loosen it. Okay. You can see the root, see that long root along there? Try and get this out. The actually space on my phone ran out, so that's gone device memory. So what I've done is carried on just get as much soil as I can out of this. I threw a whole lot away and got some more, and I'm just trimming out some of the big roots that are coming down, like these for example. I want to trim these ones, and so it'll produce lots of finer roots, get some better growth, and as you can see, big long roots have come off of this, and there's still really compact soil mass around this here, which I'm going to carry on breaking through. Try not to damage the roots too much, and then don't need to cut them back too much actually, but I'll peel away some of this thicker roots, like this one there for example. That one will go. If I cut that there like that, some of those big ones will go, and it leaves enough room for growth and for some finer roots to come through. So I'll be back in a second. Now already you can see this root ball. You can see how much room it's got in the pot. See, so much right now. So I'll try and get a little bit more out. I actually found some bark chippings in there, so you know, maybe it was quite free draining at first, but you know, eventually it's going to get more and more compact, losing any nutrients it did have. But you can see right there. So I'm going to trim this back, get some more out there, and I'll show you once I've got this bit trimmed down exactly how we want it. This is where I'm at. So got this trimmed down. There we go. See the whole tree there. All right. See in the pot, look how much size it's got now. Tons of size. Space, size, space. So I say, okay. One problem. Okay, I may have misplaced my mesh to go at the bottom, which basically stops all the soil coming out, but lets the water go in the two holes at the bottom, which are there. So what I've got is actually I've got some EpiWeb, which I've got a big sheet of it here, and what this is just like almost like a filter pad in an aquarium, which actually would do the same thing. As far as I know, no one's ever used this for it, but it's just how to explain. I don't know if you can see close enough to see it, but it lets water through basically, and also it lets roots, you know, go into it and grow, and use it in stuff like terrariums and vivariums to grow plants and that. So this is exactly what I'm going to use instead. I'm just wedge it in there. I'll tear a bit off actually, it's not really this thick, and it's almost like a sponge, a type of sponge, kind of fibrous but plastic and doesn't break down, and the water drains straight through it. So that's really good for not holding onto water. So what I'm going to do is just wedge these two bits in those holes. Just need to, oh in fact before I do that, I have my wire to put the bonsai in place. So let me put the bonsai there a second. Let it fall. Just going to hold that there. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to put the wires through that hole, and then put the wires through the other hole. This will just keep the bonsai in place in case someone knocks it. Doesn't go flying. But it shouldn't be knocked or anything, so I don't really care about it being too tight, but just a little precaution. And now I'm going to put some mesh. Where did I put that? Here. So I'm going to put these, kind of wedge these in these holes. Now stop the soil from going through. Perfect. And 1 second, I'll show you here. Okay, so you see, they're just kind of wedged in those holes there. So it's just enough that the water will get through absolutely fine, but will stop all the soil from getting through as well. Okay, and then what we're going to do now is just put some of this in there. So let's just scoop some over. And this is really free draining a lot of this stuff now. But it's got enough organic stuff in there as well. Okay. Okay, now I'm not sure how much to put it because I'm not sure how high this bonsai is going to sit. So let me test it out now. And yeah, that looks to be fine actually. I don't want to put any more than that in yet. Because you can see the level. That is where we see. It's just about right. You'll see it just enough so the soil will cover what we've got there. So yeah, happy with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get that positioned okay in the centre. You can see it from your way, it's pretty much centred. And I'm just going to start getting the rest. Oh wait, where's my wires? That's what I'm after. Alright, so I'm just going to tie this into place there first, get this vertical. So we've got that one there, this wire here, get them together. And I'm going to pull a little bit tighter. And then I'm going to just twist. Like I said, this tree is really light. And this wire is really thin, but it doesn't need to be any thicker. And I can do this with my hand. It's not like a big tree. I use pliers with heavy duty wire to get it really secure. This is absolutely fine. And we lift it a bit more vertical like that. That's better. Didn't have the apex above it, but that's better now. What we'll do, we'll wedge some soil in so we make it stand quite vertical as well. Ah, that's better. Yeah, a couple of times that and it went good. So I'm just going to snip off these bits of wire here. Sorted. Okay. Got the loose bit over there. Okay, now I'm going to start pouring some of this, get some of this in here. Might even add a bit more natural bonsai mix. Don't want it to have too much, not enough of it. Okay, I would like to add a bit of sand if I had some sand, but you know, remember that for next time. It's my first attempt, so I don't think I've done too bad. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in there. And I'll be 1 second whilst I put that in there. Right, so I'm poking through, just trying to get all the soil so there's no air and no gaps underneath the roots. So I'm just pushing through, trying to seal in any gaps I can feel. Okay, and there we go. So you can see there's a few kind of, I guess, aerial roots here because they're quite high up the trunk that they're not going to be able to get underneath the ground. And I've added a bit of extra soil on top because there just wasn't enough. But I think it's not looking too bad. Quite happy with that. A few, like, you can see a few bits of perlite around. And I might add some more once this gets watered if it sinks down a bit and I feel it needs a little bit extra soil. I might add some more, but hopefully this is going to help the tree out big time. And the next video I do is going to be when I start giving this, give it a good prune back, try and get some good shape. But I'm hoping some good life will come into this and in a couple of years repot it, maybe to a bigger pot, we'll see. I'll finish with one shot once I've cleared up and got this back in place. But catch you in a bit. So I've actually run out of batteries, so I can't put the flash on, but just cleared up, gave it a really good water. Not sure if you can see at the bottom, but basically the water that tray is full up of water, and that is because it is draining perfectly. As soon as I put water on it, drains straight through. I think it actually filled in a few air gaps because some soil dipped in certain places, so I topped it up on there. So hopefully I feel, you know, there's no gaps at the bottom. A few little roots that may thicken up and actually look pretty cool there as well, especially that one there. But that is it, all done, repotted. Next step, pruning, and that'll be the next video. But cheers for checking in, and I hope I'll be making a lot more, so I'll catch you soon. Please like and subscribe.